Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Off the Board for January of 2021. I'm working on a layout that is going to use something very similar to that design that you see there. That was on my Pinterest board. It actually is a little video that you can watch the person paint it, and I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to actually use it, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something, and creating that design was a little bit difficult, so I wasn't really sure how to do it. I looked for designs like it online and couldn't find anything back then, and then I came across that stencil that you just saw me working with. That was a Paige Evans stencil, and it has the design on it. So I purchased the stencil, and I was going to use it really small, as you saw me marking it up there, but then the areas were so small to paint that I just decided I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I took it over to my copier. I stuck a black piece of paper behind it. I photocopied it. Well, I scanned it. I didn't photocopy it. I scanned it and then stuck the scanned image onto a fob or a thumb drive, whichever you want to call it, and took it to my computer, brought it into my Silhouette software, made it larger, turned it into a cut file, and that's what you just saw was a cut file. So I traced all of those spaces with just a pencil, and I decided that I didn't want the entire thing covered. I just want part of it covered. I really don't want, I kind of want to stick with like the left hand side having the design, and then you can see it going out to the right hand side. It looks like it's at the top now, but the page is kind of turned as I paint it, and that's one of my embellishment clusters is going to be all the way on the right hand side. So I kind of planned for that and did not draw in all of the spaces that were available to me. I am using my Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils, and they are a little bit unique in the fact that once they dry, they're permanent. Most watercolor pencils are not, but these ones are permanent once they're dry. So that first section you saw me put on, I colored directly onto the paper and then dragged the color out with my paintbrush, and you can still see the brush strokes. And I wasn't really crazy about that. I mean, it's not bothering me enough that I have to start the whole project over again, but it's not my favorite look, so I knew I didn't want those pencil marks. So what I'm doing is just doing the paintbrush to the tip of the pencil and pulling my color that way. But before I do that, I take my brush with a little bit of water. I just wet the surface to the surface of the triangle that I want to color in there, and then I go ahead and do the tip to tip and bring the color in, and what that does is it allows the paper to stay a little bit wetter longer so that I can drag the color, because if I go tip to tip without having the paper wet first, then I can't really drag the color so much because the paper just absorbs everything and dries so quickly because I'm not using a ton of water. So you wouldn't necessarily have that problem with a regular watercolor pencil, but these Derwent Inktense pencils, you would have that problem. Now that section that is down below that's orange, well, it's at the top right now, but eventually when I rotate the whole thing it will be down below. That was done with a watercolor pen, and I just wanted to see what it looked like, and I know that little triangle is going to be covered by the photo, so that's why I tried it there. You can see me messing around with that my water bowl there. That is something I got for Christmas. It's called a rinse well, and it has like a reservoir of water, and then which is almost like a cat feeder or something like that. The water, the bottle sits upside down, and it flows into that little well there where you can see me picking up water. When it gets dirty, if you hit the blue button that's the furthest down on the screen, it drains that well, and the water goes into the reservoir at the bottom for the dirty water, and then it refills with clean water. My sister-in-law bought that for me for Christmas, and this is the first time I'm using it. So far I like it a lot, and I would probably recommend it if I was doing, another project like this, or even, just any kind of watercolor project. I don't think it's something that I need to have sitting on my desk all the time, but for a project like this, I would definitely pull it out and use it. So I am kind of going with a bit of a rainbow schematic here. I started out by using the most intense part of the color towards the smallest end of those triangles, where you can see the purple one there. It's more intense at the point where they all come together, and then it gets lighter. But the one that I'm working on right now, I did the opposite, and so I just decided, whatever way I do it, it's fine. It's gonna look great, and I'm not gonna do the whole thing over so that they all match with, the intensity coming from the same direction or whatever. I just decided to go ahead and leave it as it is and go with it. I'm not going to have you sit through all of the painting. I know it is kind of mesmerizing, but my video would be super long. It was like maybe 25 minutes long. Just like 10 minutes of it was just painting. So I didn't want to make you sit through all of that. You have been watching quite a bit of it, and basically I think I've covered all of the aspects of what I'm doing. I can tell you that I am using some fluid watercolor paper in a 12 by 12, and it is, let's see here, it's 140-pound cold press finish, if that helps you out at all. So again, it's fluid watercolor, cold press finish, 140-pound, and it's called an Easy Block. Comes 15 sheets bound on 2 edges, and it is a 12 by 12. And I really like this paper because the paper quality is really good, for starters, and the fact that it comes in 12 by 12 is super nice. So yeah, that's what I decided to use. So I trimmed off the edge of the watercolor paper. I backed the whole thing in black because I love black with these bright colors. And then I had this embellishment pack. I think these are from Pink Fresh, and I had a set of stuff that I pulled out from Rosie's studio that was kind of watercolor florals, but then the ones from Pink Fresh have like black lines in them, and I really like that. So that's what I decided to use because it brought in more black to the actual page. That journaling card that I'm using there, I had to adjust the size of it, and what I did was I took it over to my printer and I stuck some Nina paper in there. It's solar white, and I shrunk it down to by 85% because the little frame thing was too small to hold the entire 3x4 card. I apologize if my voice went in and out of volume there. I had to stand up to look at the actual paper to see what it was. So again, it was Nina Solar White Classic Crest, and I just printed it on a Brother copy machine in color, and it says, "Thank you for the gifts you have brought to my life." And that is my friend Lisa. She is a very talented watercolor artist, and the little box that she's holding there, a couple of us got together, so my mom, myself, and another friend, and it's a miniature little art studio, and we built that for her birthday in 2019, and it had like little pictures that maybe were from Picasso or whatever. I don't even know who they were by, but it had little paintings in it and drawings and stuff like that, and we took all of those out and we replaced them with little miniature paintings of her, or copies of her paintings. So we took her original stuff, shrunk it all down, and put those in there, and she just loved it so much. And so I wanted to go ahead and document that we made this for her, and then also what a dear friend she has been to me. She's always been very supportive of me and very just just a really good friend. So I don't want to get too mushy about it, but anyway, so she is a special person in my life, and I thought it would be fun to document that we made this thing for her, and that even though it was a gift for her Christmas or for her birthday that year, just having her as a friend is really truly a gift to me. So that is the story that I am documenting. And I am playing along with Off the Board. There's a bunch of us playing along this month, and that is where we go and we get or check out our Pinterest boards, get inspiration from one of them, and use that inspiration on a scrapbook layout. You saw the pin at the beginning of the video, and I think I pretty much captured what I wanted from that pin. And there's, like I said, a bunch of ladies playing along the last Wednesday of the month, so go and check them out. They are in my description box down below. Crystal Barrett started this series. I think we're almost to year 2, and she did it every day for the month of July. 2 years, I think 2 years in a row, if I remember correctly. And I have been playing along since the beginning, and I really enjoy this series because it really challenges me to think outside the box, and it really, I think it kind of ups my game as far as creating layouts, because it gives me something different to do and a lot of different perspective. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some little cupped floral flower sequins on there, just 3 in each area to bring those colors in, and I added a paintbrush to that cluster that I'm working on right now, and my title is just Watercolors by Lisa, and that is the name that is on the little studio that she has in her hand, and that's going to do it. Here come the close-ups. Stick around for those. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.